name is Benjamin Bloom, and for the first time on the channel, this is the Championship preview show. Going to run through the Championship fixtures this weekend and give a few predictions, give my thoughts, and you can let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's a good time to be doing this. The loan window is closed. The transfer window is closed. We've had 2 weeks international break, and it doesn't feel like you know, an embryonic league table anymore. 6 games gone now, and things from now you'll see start to straighten out during the season. So let's start at the top, and it's Leeds in first place, obviously, away at Millwall. I've seen Millwall once. I haven't seen Leeds yet since the start of the season. Obviously, Leeds unbeaten under footballing god Bielsa. Millwall only 1 win in the first 6. They beat Derby at home. 2 teams transitioning a bit. Millwall, obviously, the expectations ramped up last year. They were brilliant from sort of the back end of winter right through to the end of the season. Nearly made the playoffs in the end. But Saville's now gone. They've brought Bradshaw in. Little kind of transition in their second season, and it's going to be hard for them to replicate what they did last season. Leeds obviously have come out absolutely flying. The question people asked, would the standard of player in the Championship be able to follow the Bielsa instructions and the blueprint? Well, 4 wins and 2 draws out of the first 6 would seem to say so. This one looks like an away win. I think the break will have done Leeds good. I don't think it'll halt their momentum. The question people ask about Bielsa is, will it knacker the players out? Well, not yet. We're only September and we've just had 2 weeks off. Millwall and Leeds are probably 2 of the most energetic sides, so expect action in the first half and a sort of frenetic start. But I think I'd have Leeds coming out on top in this one. Game number 2, second place, Middlesbrough away to Norwich. With my Ipswich hat on, I obviously saw Norwich play their last game. Norwich is 17th, Borough is 2nd. So I've seen Norwich, haven't seen Borough this season, but I have seen many Tony Pulis teams over the years. Borough unbeaten, haven't conceded in the previous 5 games. They had that kind of basket case start at Millwall where they were 2-0 down and scored 2 goals in injury time. And Pulis presumably laid the smackdown after that game, and they haven't conceded since. Flint obviously settling in well there into Gibson's spot in the defence. Norwich have got a single home win over Preston. Seems like they've had quite a difficult home start because defeats against West Brom and Leeds, and now obviously Borough going to challenge in this one. You can see another clean sheet for Borough, so without a hint of bias with my Ipswich supporter hat on, I can see Pulis stingy 1-0 win. I mean, you can see that in most away games this season, but from what I saw of Norwich last week, it's certainly going to be hard for them to get past this Borough defence. So I will go for Borough in that one. The highest ranked game of this weekend is 6th place Bristol City versus 3rd place Sheffield United. I haven't seen either yet. Sheffield United and Bristol City both had great starts last season, and then both sort of fell away towards the end, away from the playoffs, as when the chips were really down towards the end. Sheffield United have 4 straight wins after losing their first 2 games. Obviously, I have great interest in David McGoldrick. They're past few years at Ipswich, never managed to stay fit, but we knew there was a good player there. So looking forward to see how he does this season. Bristol City similarly didn't win their first 3, and now they have 3 straight wins. This looks like a good game. It looks like it has goals. They're 2 teams that commit players forward, and I think it's going to be a really good game. I think Bristol might be too strong for the Blades at home. Don't think there's going to be much in it, and I think there's going to be goals. So I'll just edge towards Bristol City on that one and Lee Johnson. Rotherham in 15th. They're at home to Derby, or Frank Lampard's Derby, should I call them. Now, I've got some knowledge of these 2 teams. I saw Rotherham beat Millwall and I've seen Derby play twice. So I can tell you exactly what Rotherham are going to do, and they should have no shame in doing this. Against Millwall, the tactic was solid back four, one sitting in front, you know, two sitting midfielders, and keeping it very, very tight. They got a goal from a set play, and they were hard to play through. They also beat my team, Ipswich, in very similar fashion, giving up possession and getting one from a set play and keeping that clean sheet. So I don't necessarily think it's going to be the easiest place in the world to go if Rotherham set out that game plan throughout the season. And that's going to be the way they're going to stay in the division if they're going to do it, is 3-pointers at home. I've seen Derby twice, and I didn't really see a team either time. Tom Lawrence bailed them out at Reading on the first day with a brilliant header at the end. And against Ipswich, it was all much of a muchness and a couple of set play goals. Don't think Lampard's got it going there just yet, despite the wins. I think he's got very good players in there. Waghorn and Lawrence, obviously, I know a lot about. So I think it's more a sense of some good players doing the business. What that does bode well for Derby, though, is if the good players are doing it now, when they do get what Lampard's trying to do under their belts, I think they could look very good indeed. I think Rotherham might scrape a point from this one. I think they'll sit back, and Derby might find it hard to play through them. They just need to stay very solid, Rotherham, and they might be able to get a draw, I think, here. Brentford in 5th against Wigan. I've seen Brentford. Brentford are the most together team I've seen this season. And I think what it says is that they're a long way into their project. They've just picked up where they left off with the good passing and the good recruitment. You know, players are always sold from Brentford. Woods has gone. Now was always a favourite of mine. So Brentford are the best team I've seen this season, certainly the most together project. Wigan have surprised me, certainly. Good return, 10 points from their first 6 games, but Brentford away is going to be a hard game for a lot of teams. I don't see many teams getting above well, certainly the 45-50% possession away at Brentford. So it's a matter of concentration and trying to imprint your game. We did see teams like Cardiff with their style go and, you know, easily beat Brentford away last season. So, you know, I think play them at their own game, you're probably going to lose. I don't see Wigan having enough to beat Brentford away, so I'm going to go for a Brentford win there. 7th place, Swansea is the next one. They take on Forest. I've not seen Swansea. I have seen Forest in a very fun draw at home to West Brom. Swansea got an unlikely win at Millwall in their last game. They would have been 4 without a win if that hadn't have happened. Forest looked very Karankery, if that's a word, very slightly overcautious so far, and the handbrake hasn't come off. Lots of draws from them. I know they've got high expectations, haven't quite got it going yet, Forest, and I think that European caution from Karanka might see probably a scoring draw in this one as well. Moving on, Bolton in 8th. They would have taken that at the start of the season after 6 games against QPR in 22nd. Not seen either, but Bolton, considering all this off-pitch stuff, they have not gone into administration this week, so that's good news for them. 3 wins and 2 draws in the first 6 and up in 8th place. Good start, and we saw from my team Ipswich last season that if you house yourself in the top half of the league early on, that can stand you in very good stead, sort of confidence-wise, as you go through the winter. You'd rather be looking downwards at teams below you than up from the bottom. So good start for Bolton. QPR, horrible. That 7-1 they had at West Brom. They've kept 2 clean sheets in the last 2 since then. So presumably McLaren has really managed to shore everything up and maybe be a little less expansive as he's known for, and perhaps play a bit more of a pragmatic style. Already has the air of quite an important game, this one, doesn't it? Bolton's a hard place to go. It's grim up north. I think they might get the win here. I know Parkinson's a up and at 'em kind of guy. I can see the West Londoners falling over here. I will be at this next game tonight. Really looking forward to this. Birmingham versus West Brom, and talking about off-pitch trouble. Birmingham really now under the threat of a financial fair play punishment. There's a bit of a sense they're going to be made an example of here, and there's talk of a 12-point deficit being applied to Birmingham's total. So they're going to... Well, they're not going to want that to happen, but they're also not going to want the spectre of it hanging over them all season. So I assume the sooner that's sorted out, the better for them. But that would certainly be a real hammer blow to Birmingham. No wins yet, and the threat of the points deduction could be a big distraction there. West Brom, I think, are going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure Phillips, Rodriguez and Gale are going to post some serious numbers this season. They've already had the 7 against QPR and 4 away at Norwich, and like I said, I saw Forest and West Brom, really fun game, really nice attacking stuff. So I'm looking at probably a decent West Brom away win tonight. They need to start housing themselves up in that top 4 if they want to get automatic or playoffs. Sheffield Wednesday v Stoke, Wednesday in 11th. I've seen Sheffield Wednesday twice, and again with no sense of sour grapes because they beat my team Ipswich. They weren't very good at all, and they've got this 3-game winning streak. I think they played quite well against Millwall the first of the 3 games. Then the game against Ipswich is a bit of a basket case. They scored 2 set plays, and Ipswich had a strange sending off at the end. And they've gone and beaten Reading, who are bottom of the league. But this is the Championship for you. You win those 3 in a row and up the table you go. I did not see anything from Wednesday in either of the games I'd seen, other than Bannon, who's an excellent centre midfielder. I don't seem to have got Forestieri going, and he's suspended again now. So I think it's quite strange that Wednesday got that streak. I've been watching that with great surprise, them climb the table. Although Stoke have only got 1 win in 6. I think they're going to have too much quality. I think they're going to get the away win here at Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn and Villa, 2 teams I have seen. They both drew at Ipswich, 12th and 13th, housed in the middle of the table. Blackburn unbeaten in their first 5, 4-1 thrashing at Bristol City. Villa exactly the same, but their loss was at Sheffield United. What I will say is these 2 managers, Mowbray and Bruce, do have a tendency to kind of sit back a little bit and, you know, judge things out and see things out. Blackburn were very solid, and we know Bruce can do that over his career. I think this one might be a low scorer, and it could well be a draw, a quite pragmatic game, I'm thinking. Nearly there. Preston, 19th versus Reading. I've seen Reading, a lot of their fans are fearing the worst for them. They have no wins, bottom of the league, but did pick up away draws at Villa and Blackburn. I think Preston really need to get things going. They had a good season last year on the edges of the playoffs. Only 1 win, and that was on the opening day, so they need something here. I think Preston are going to get the win here against Reading to get things going after the international break, which leaves my team Ipswich, the last game, the lowest ranked game of the week. It's Hull in 21st against Ipswich 23rd. I've not seen Hull. Obviously, I've seen Ipswich 5 times. Hull have got 1 win at Rotherham. Ipswich didn't even manage that, and this huge turnover of staff. We've been waiting for it to get going for Ipswich all season. I don't think the first win's going to come, but I think they can get a point, so I'm going to go for a draw here. Okay, so let me know what you think in the comments. If you support one of these teams and watch them every week, I do not claim to know more than you, so please educate me in the comments if you disagree or agree. We're hopefully going to try and make this a regular feature each week, so some of these predictions might come to bite me on the arse. If you enjoyed it, give us a subscribe, and like I say, get the debate going in the comments. It's all some opinion, and you're as entitled to yours as I am to mine. Follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Subscribe to the Blue Monday podcast, and thumbs up, get involved, and I'll hopefully be back on Sunday to review these games and see how wrong I was in the prediction. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
La 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 la